This video demonstration will show the integration between Sourcefire's Defense Center version 5 and Solera Network's DeepSee. This video will provide a quick view into setting up the integration, and then we will look how DeepSee enhances the value of the intrusion prevention system by providing context to each of these events. Setup for Sourcefire's Defense Center requires copying the integration tarball onto the Defense Center file system, extracting the files, and running the integration script. The integration tarball, as well as installation instructions, can be downloaded from Solera Network's support site or is available on Sourcefire's community site. Once extracted on the file system, we can proceed by calling the integration script with the install command. There are two other commands that you can call the script with. One is config and the other is delete. Config will update the current integration parameters to your new integration parameters. Delete will remove the entire integration. We are prompted for the IP address of the Solera system, the login credentials, and the offset for viewing between when the event occurred and how much before and after time should be displayed in the Solera interface. Our integration is now complete and we can log into the Defense Center interface. One of the strengths of Sourcefire's Defense Center is that the intrusion sensors are powered by open source Snort. This allows you to grab rules from a community of devoted followers, write your own rules, or use the rules provided by Sourcefire's vulnerability research team. In this case here, we're using Sourcefire's VRT, and our policy is fully loaded to catch intrusions, personal identifiable information that's leaking, and general corporate policy violations. There are different dashboards for getting network and intrusion information from Defense Center, but we will look at intrusion events where Solera is integrated. We can see we have many events in the system, and a lot are related to policy violations. But if we look, we see some shellcode events, and many times these can lead to false positives, but when they are legitimate, they are very concerning. We click on one of the shellcode events to bring it to focus. We click it again to display all the details. We are able to see some of the packet data here, but in order to see the entire session, we will use the Solera integration. We have the option of pulling the entire session directly into a PCAP out of Solera, but in this case, we will look at the session inside Solera. As with most of the pivot integrations into Solera, the path bar is pre-populated using the Web Services API so we can focus directly on this event. From the dashboard view in Solera, we see access to some of the NetBIOS shares in our network. Since Defense Center reported shellcode, we may actually want to use the Analyze Packets button to pull up the Wireshark-like interface and search on the packets or view the raw payload to see any indications around this shellcode. In this case though, I'm going to close Analyze Packets and see what other communication took place between these two systems. To do this, I remove the port constraint and focus on any communication between the two IP addresses. We now see additional communication between these two IP addresses, including HTTP transactions and very suspicious URI names. If we take a look at the extracted artifacts between these two addresses, we can recreate the web page access or see what other artifacts may have been transferred. When we recreate the HTML, we notice that the web page is blank. But using Solera for a raw text view, we see obfuscated script. Taking a look at some of the other artifacts, we notice there is a transfer of two executables. When we run a reputation against one of these executables, we get information back from VirusTotal that shows that this is indeed malware. At this point, we have enough information from Solera and Defense Center to know this is serious. We would proceed with more investigation in Solera to get more to the root cause, but this is only a demonstration.